Hello, we are Emma, Yvette, and Georgia, and we are here to discuss hashtag activism, specifically activism on social media and how that can translate into slacktivism. We are specifically focusing on the hashtag She Cares movement, which demonstrates how performative activism can take away from the actual issue, which contributes to greenwashing. This is an important issue in society as environmental issues have an impact and correct ways to assist with helping our planet need to be discussed, such as holding big corporations accountable and making use of websites that educate the public on companies' environmental impacts.
According to Hootsuite, hashtag activism on social media, also known as slacktivism, is a form of protest, advocacy, or awareness for a cause or interest that is actioned through social media channels. Twitter is the social media platform that began the use of the hashtag to group together similar topics of conversations for users to find in one place. This grouping of topics also made it easier to spread awareness towards certain issues, hence creating movements for hashtag activism. For example, when the hashtag #IStandWithPP, which went viral in support of Planned Parenthood funding from the COVID Cure for Cancer Foundation, the foundation changed their decision and acted due to the outcry from the public and the virality of the hashtag. This is a perfect example of hashtag activism in action and working, according to Jackson and Bailey 2020. One of the earliest movements in activism that occurred through social media was the 2011 Arab Springs demonstrations, which was a political issue that gained thousands of supporters through their use of organized events using social media. One of the most recognized examples is the hashtag Black Lives Matter movement, with the hashtag first being used in 2013, which popularized the use of the hashtag to spread awareness. According to Booth et al. 2020, their quantitative research demonstrated how young people are more inclined to engage with others in person if they have previously interacted in political activities online. Slacktivism, also known as lazy activism, is where a person limits their participation to social media only, instead of turning up to protests that traditional activism requires, which has actually been proven to create more change, according to Smith, Krishna, and Als 2019. Examples of slacktivism may be signing a petition, donating, sharing a post, commenting, or joining a community page. This is still helpful, but it requires little involvement and effort, which makes it hard for effective change to be resolved. There are pros and cons as social media can create trending movements for change, especially through hashtags to spread awareness. However, it usually stops there as participants are not fully engaged in the cause. According to Christopherson, slacktivism may be a good stepping stone towards providing insight into problems, but without traditional activism, it makes it difficult to engage citizens in truly being concerned. Christopherson et al. 2014 states that it could be argued that there are positive elements to slacktivism, as it does encourage discussion about issues online worldwide. But we do have to factor in the digital divide, as not everyone has equal access to the internet. Slacktivism is thought of as low-risk participation according to Doku and Dodd 2019. They also stated that online activism, or slacktivism, is not well understood, and the link between slacktivism in their research highlighted millennials engage more online based on intrinsic needs and gratifications, which contributed to their online activism or slacktivist behaviors. As per Doku and Dodd further discovered that this behavior of millennials online was due to motivation to belong or feel included. This could be a potential issue, whether they're fully aware of what they are participating in online to create actual change, or are they just trying to fit in with their peers? Miller states that it appears as if people join in on slacktivist behavior because they feel part of a community of like-minded people creating rewarding change online. However, Miller 2015 states slacktivists tend to disengage and forget about the cause quicker than traditional activists, as the element of disconnection from the issue and the user behind the screen is often not enough to emotionally connect them in feeling compelled to leave their house and do something about that issue in real life. Slacktivism still appears in effect to be a substitute for activism. A great example is Als Ice Bucket Challenge. They blended online and offline engagement, referred to as a term called the propinquitous loop, as Sutherland 2016 discusses. By doing so, they created awareness online, but had participants engaging with the cause offline as well. ALS's Ice Bucket Challenge was smart, as they made the most of using slacktivism in the best way they could. By creating a challenge that encouraged action offline, their campaign was effective by utilizing the opportunity to make the most of the situation with slacktivism and linking it with traditional activism. Since slacktivism is considered a lower risk activity, it should also be investigated how companies may pretend they're activists and environmentally friendly. For example, when they're using slacktivism in an attempt of greenwashing their public image.
Greenwashing is when a company promotes itself for advancing in environmentally friendly ways without doing anything. For a brand, this means cementing their image as a sustainable option without offering significant changes towards sustainability, recycling initiatives, or waste reduction. Sabo states that greenwashing will infer that the brand was never intended to be sustainable, nor have any infrastructure as a sustainable brand. Brands who try for sustainable movements work through more environmentally friendly practices before rebranding themselves as sustainable. Such as H&M. While they are also a fast fashion brand, they offer a more sustainable line in-house and a sustainability report which sources their whole production line and their strides towards more sustainable manufacturing practices. Shein provides no such sustainability reports nor any information on their factory's conditions. Greenwashing is not new, it has been around for decades. According to Polonsky, often there were charitable or environmentally friendly programs offered within some brands. For example, within skincare, The Body Shop, who worked often towards minimizing animal harm and increasing their environmentally friendly production. But Sabo again mentions that because of limited access to information, green marketing, as it was then known, was taken at face value, as consumers could not easily identify if it was true or simply a branding tactic. And greenwashing to the average consumer may seem the same, but it remains much more dubious, as no steps towards sustainability are taken, no recycling programs are offered, and no reputable charity organizations are being provided any efforts. Shein's campaign, #SheinCares, is a perfect example of greenwashing via social media. It offers the vague, feel-good message that they care for the animals with no evidence to back it up.
An example of slacktivism that we have decided to discuss is the movement #SheinCares. #SheinCares is a hashtag that went viral on the social media platform TikTok. According to Shein, the hashtag was supposed to promote how the company cares for the environment by releasing #SheinCares merchandise. However, according to websites such as Good On You, Shein has one of the worst ratings when it comes to being environmentally friendly. The #SheinCares also went viral on TikTok for all the wrong reasons. Instead of promoting their environmentally friendly approach to their business, users of TikTok used the hashtag to show off hauls of products they bought from Shein and used the hashtag to gain views. As Brunson Burgess 2021 described it, users can find and subscribe to posts with the same hashtag, even if the posts come from their followers or previously unknown users. This explains how hashtags can go viral without users even understanding where the origin of the trend comes from. In an article written by Sheba Research, they talk with 15-year-old Mika B to gain a young person's perspective on the SheinCares situation. B mentioned the hypocrisy of the movement, as Shein contributes largely to global wastewater and global carbon emissions through their production of fast fashion. This is a clear example of greenwashing as well, as they are trying to promote to their target audience on TikTok that they are environmentally friendly and are taking action to help the environment crisis. However, they continue to be unsustainable in their production of their fast fashion. Slacktivism and greenwashing can cause many social problems, especially in Shein's case, where their target audience is primarily young teenagers, which from an individual's perspective can be an issue because they are almost tricked and manipulated into believing they are helping the environment and doing the right thing, where they are actually doing the opposite by still supporting the brand.
We have 2 recommendations that we believe will help with the issue of slacktivism. Booth and Matic in their study elaborate on the fact that if corporations use influencers to promote their brand, there is an increase in their social media engagement. This proves that influencers promoting a certain message are received by the public and affect the public's action. From this study, we can recommend that if corporations use influential people to promote solutions to the environmental crisis rather than promote slacktivist solutions, the public receiving this message will contribute and make a real difference. Another solution to environmental slacktivism is making use of apps or websites like Good On You, an app recommended by multiple news sources such as the ABC, as they can lead to a well-informed decision as to which brands are working to be more sustainable. In conclusion, the global and personal impacts that slacktivism and greenwashing have on the world still occur every day, and big corporations need to do their part to prevent this oncoming environmental crisis. Shein is an example of a big company doing exactly that. If they had used their program and their ability to trend to make an actual difference, they could have inspired their large audience to do the same. Thank you for listening.